What's going on, everybody? Steve here, and today I've got a small kind of conversation, my thoughts that I wanted to get out, and it's something that I've been discussing a lot with my friends, and that's the mystery of what Nintendo is in 2016. What do they plan to do for the later part of 2016? Because from what I've noticed, everything they have planned kind of ends in March. Any games they majorly want to release, I believe, is maybe early spring. But they're very quiet. That's for what the fall is, which is the big gaming season is that holiday season. That's when, these people want to make bundles. That's when people want to get their games out. Now, Nintendo's been very quiet since the last time we've seen them on stage. They've hinted at NX being announced, talked about this year. Now, I kind of want to get my thoughts out on what Nintendo needs to do in 2016 to kind of succeed. Now, admittingly, being a huge Nintendo fan, the Wii U was a failure. Now, I'm not talking about profits, but I'm talking about in the community. Like, people aren't talking about playing their Wii U's. Everyone's talking about their PCs, their Xbox Ones, their PlayStation 4s. The Wii U isn't being taken seriously. Nintendo isn't being taken seriously. Now, I'm not sure exactly what they need to do. I'm not a marketing guy. I'm not some guy behind some doors talking about what their next step is. But to me, they have to reestablish themselves as a gaming company. They have to kind of come out new again. They have to come out, admit they're wrong. They won't do it. They'll use fancy words and try to talk about how great the Wii U was. But they do need to come out, admit they were wrong, and appeal to the gamers. Because that's what their issue is. We saw this between the battle between Sony and Microsoft. That when you appeal to the gamers and you appeal to the casuals, who's going to buy this system? The gamers are the ones that buy these systems. The gamers are the ones who buy these consoles. And that shows in the sales from the PlayStation 4 compared to the Xbox One, especially compared to the Wii U. From what I believe, the Wii U is under 15 million still, since this launched in 2012. Microsoft and Sony have surpassed that. Now, for Nintendo to succeed, it's hard to think about it because what they look at, or what we think, it's easy for us to say, just make a system, put a bunch of games on it. People aren't going to buy that. People need a reason to want to buy your system, especially now that most people have an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4. What would the new Nintendo console, the NX, what is that going to provide for us that we can't get already? We can't just rely on, buying the next Mario game, buying the next Legend of Zelda, the next Metroid. Because that's not what sells units. That's not what sells or appeals to the gamers. Or else the Wii U would have sold. If people bought Nintendo systems to play Nintendo games, then they would have bought the Wii U. And obviously they didn't. Which is why we have, the failure of the Wii U. Now, in my thoughts, Nintendo has to come out swinging. They need to be at a big conference. Now, do they specifically need E3? Do they need to wait that long? I don't think so. It's Sony has been doing their PlayStation Experience events, and they've been pretty well. They've, mixed reviews on certain parts, but they've done strong. If Nintendo was to announce a conference, not their digital events or their directs, those are they lack that heart that most people look for. They need to have an event. I don't care if it's Vegas, wherever they decide to do it. Have an event where people can go. You see, the heads of Nintendo. Of course, Reggie will be there, and someone to come out and announce and talk about what Nintendo's plan is. Because if we don't know what you're doing, we're not going to invest. The fact that when the Wii U was announced, no one really knew what it was. No one was invested, and it died off. Show us what you have. Show us that you're learning from your mistakes, Nintendo. Like, that's what we need to see. That your system's not just going to be another just Wii or Wii U. You need to get into the gamer's head and show them what it is. You need to be innovative without alienating your third-party support. Third parties are always a huge part of the console systems. No console can just survive on AAA, first-party studios. In this day and age, a lot of people are liking smaller studios putting out these indie games. They like, stuff from second-party studios. Like, you need a bigger community behind your system. and that's what makes it sell, and that's what makes it last. Nintendo, the Wii U's only ever spiked a little bit in sales when, their big hitters came out. The Smash Brothers, the Mario Kart. Of course, when they came out, more systems were sold, but people looked by it. They weren't going to try to spend $250 to $300 to play 1, 2, 3 games that appeal to them when they've spent on their Xbox One or their PlayStation 4 and have just a huge library of games, tons on the on the shops online, and plenty more to come. We know these games are coming to these systems. If you purchased the Wii U and thought that was going to be your next system, you lost out on a lot of games. There was huge games that came out, and for Nintendo having issues with their third party, the games weren't released. Call of Duty's games weren't released on them, or they were very, very broken down, lacking in features. Nintendo is a hard hitter. I know they can do it. I want them to succeed. Will they? I have fears, especially if some of these rumors that are swirling around are true. A half handheld, half console hybrid, I don't see how it would work. If anyone was to pull it off, it is Nintendo. It is them. Will it work? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what people want. Especially, there's one rumor that strikes me it picks at me, and it's being that the system would be sold in 2 separate parts. And I know, again, this is just rumors and tongue-in-cheek, but it just wouldn't make sense. And that's the stuff that kills Nintendo. That's the stuff that makes people say, that's a lot of nonsense, that's a lot of work, that's a lot of money for what? Where's the proof? And that's what Nintendo needs to do. They can't rely on just their Marios, their Zeldas, their Metroids. They have to expand. They have to balance the playing field. They have to realize they need third-party supports. There's great games, and people would love to play them on Nintendo systems if Nintendo systems were powerful enough to do it. Now, I'm not talking about technical points in the system is everything. That's not what it is, the frame rates and all that kind of stuff. But your games need to run. Games need to be able to play. Give me a reason to want to play it on your system. Is it, the connectivity? Is there better online? Is there something? Nintendo's got to be able to click somehow. And they have to make their message clear. They need to come out and know that they can't just do the Wii U again. Because this is kind of their last shot. Especially in hardware. They'll always have their IPs that would be weird to see on Sony or Microsoft's consoles, but people want Nintendo to do well. We want to support them. They've been there forever. If it wasn't for Nintendo, there wouldn't be a lot of us gamers who didn't grow up playing their Super Nintendos, their Nintendos, the 64, the countless hours everyone's put into those systems. Nintendo can do it, and I want to believe they can do it. They're willing. They're there. They're willing. People have, their higher-ups have rearranged, so we know that there's lots of talks going on. I just hope to see some definite progress from them, definite learning from their past, learning from their competitors. They are joining the race very late. Why should I buy this if I already have one of the other systems? Besides your core games, what is Nintendo offering us? Are they offering us a new experience, a higher experience? I mean, it's hard for you to join such a late race, especially when Sony and Microsoft are doing great. The PC gaming is also reaching an all-time high, and it keeps escalating. Is it too late for Nintendo? What do you guys think? Let me know. What's something that would draw you back to Nintendo? Is it completely having them get out of hardware and just give us a service to play on PC or the other consoles? I want them to do well. Do you guys even care? Is it too late for them? No matter what they do this year, will they not win you back? 2016 is a very decisive year. I don't believe their next console will come out this year. The rumors say yes, some rumors say no. We don't know. Nintendo is a huge mystery right now. They're keeping everything shut. And I need them to start talking. We need to know what's going on. Why should we invest? Or do we just move on and go on to the games, the companies, the ones that are supporting us, that are, helping us, that are coming out and supporting us gamers? Let me know your guys' thoughts. Until next time, take care.